Hi everyone, so today's video is this like really dramatic, grungy, sunset, smoky cut crease eye, very Plouise-esque. So I used my Keilidh palette from Sosu, which looks like this, and then I did use a pigment on the lid. There's powder all over the palette. I also included the face and the brows in this. I'm not going to go super in depth into the brows because I'm going to do a tutorial on that. And the face is all in bar foundation, and I did a bit of cream contour, camera cut out, still having problems. Just bear with me. I have a new SD card and stuff. Hopefully that's going to sort it. But you didn't miss much, just me firing on a bit of foundation and tiny bit of cream contour basically. I'll also list everything down below if you need names of anything. And yeah, I'm going to get into this tutorial. So I'm starting with my Flormar Double Radiance Primer. This is just a nice glowy primer to start off my base with. And then I'm going to use the Bperfect silicone based primer. So this is more mattifying. So I just put this on the center of my face where I would actually get oily. Next thing I'm going to do is my brows, so just a quick comb through them, and usually when I'm doing like really glam looks I'll carve out the brows first. Like I said, I'm not going to go too in depth with this because I will do a tutorial chatting through what I do, but just kind of carve out the rough shape, bounce it out with a sponge, and I use the Boom brow gel in deep brunette from Fuschia. So I always start at the bottom of my brow and just kind of follow the shape, but I fill in the little sparse areas. You can just see my arch there, it's a little bit sparser. And I kind of do the bottom first and then go on to the top, and I don't dip in and get any more product. I just use whatever is on the brush, just because I don't want the top to be too harsh or blocky. You can see here I like overdrew them a little bit, so then like I always go back in with concealer and just like touch them up. I always say this, my brows is probably the most finicky job of my whole makeup because I just don't enjoy my brows. So yeah, it's kind of a challenge every day, but I just soften the brow gel by brushing through with a spoolie. And then this here is the Iredale lash conditioner. So it's actually lash conditioner, but I use it on my brows, and it's just such a good brow gel to set the brows. Really makes them look fluffy. You can see it has kind of a white colour on the brows, but that dries completely clear then. To prime the eyes, I'm using the Plouise base, so I'm just popping that on with a brush, and then I am going to pat it out with my finger. The first shade I'm taking from the Urban Bible palette is called Sacred Fire, so it's just a nice red tone. So the first thing I do is kind of pop this directly into the crease. You can see I just kind of wiggle the brush left and right, not moving around too much. And then once I have like the base of the colour put down, I'll go back over it and just use a bit more of a circular motion just to soften the very edges of that colour. And it just takes a couple of seconds to do this. I'm not too mad about the blending until I get to a certain stage. So the next shade I'm using is Majesty. So this I'm literally just patting down above the red. So kind of halfway above the red and halfway onto the red. And then I'm going to go in with Faith, and then I'm going to use this basically to blend out the orange. So this is where I focus a bit more on the blending, because obviously we're getting further up to the brow bone area. So just a really light hand with this and a nice fluffy brush. So you can see I'm just slowly building that up, and then what I do is I go back in with a fluffier brush and go back in with that orange shade and give more of a gradient effect between the two of them. The next shade I'm using is Unruly. This is like a cranberry colour. So this is where you'll kind of start to see the blend coming together a little bit more. So this is going on the outer edge of the eye and also onto the crease area. So just directly into the crease. So then you'll just see a bit more of a fade now between the colours. So don't panic too much with the blend. It is a process. I'm then using Sacrifice, which is like a deep purple, and this is just going on the outer corner of the eye, and I'm just using a really light hand and a really soft crease brush that's quite small, and I'm just going to kind of carve out the crease a little bit. So soft hand, so it is still going to be blended, but just adds a bit more depth to the crease area. Then obviously just give that a little blend again, and now I'm going to cut the lid. So I'm using the Plouise base again, so just I'm putting the base kind of 2/3 of the way across my lid and then looking up towards the ceiling, and then I just fill in the gaps. And that's literally just how I always cut my lid. For the lid I'm using 56 sparkling dust from Inglot. So just popping that where I have the base. Because I didn't like clean off the lid or anything, it gives like a little lilac effect to the pigment, because there is like remaining kind of pigment underneath the base, if that makes sense. So if I had cleaned my lid with a cotton bud first and then put down the base, I would have had like a really nice gold, but I like the lilac and gold effect that it's creating basically. And now I'm just doing a line across my lid with my Essence Liquid Ink eyeliner. So just a line, and then I thickened it the further I went towards the outer corner of the eye. So then I did actually also add a little bit of black just to smoke out the outer corner, and that bit disappeared. I don't know where it went. Just like these following clips, I also did my foundation with the Iredale BB cream, and I used F13 foundation stick from Makeup Revolution to cream contour. I also highlighted with the Charlotte Beauty Covert Concealer under my eyes and the center points of my face. So underneath the eyes, I'm just using the same kind of shades as I did in the crease. So I'm mixing Sacred Fire and Majesty. Then I'm putting a little bit of Unruly closer to the lash line. And then what I'm doing is I'm using that yellow shade to blend them all out. So nothing too mad, just to make sure we have a nice kind of sunset effect underneath the eyes as well. The next thing I'm going to do is set that concealer then with the Charlotte Beauty translucent powder. So just kind of dusting that anywhere I highlighted my face. The camera is out of focus here. I swear it was just like not a good filming day for me. I'm really having trouble with the camera. But anyways, I set my face with the MAC Studio Fix powder, and then I'm bronzing with the Anastasia Beverly Hills bronzer in clay. So just on the outer perimeters of my face, so forehead, cheeks and jawline. Then I'm going to go in with the Inglot sculpting powder in 508, I believe it is. I'll leave it down below. And I'm just going to use that to contour a little bit, so it's a little bit cooler than the shade Clay. So just in the hollows of my cheeks, underneath my lip, jawline, underneath the chin and the forehead. I'm then going to use my NYX blush in taupe. This is just the best thing to create actual hollows. So I'm putting that in the hollows of my cheeks and then just blending it out. For blush, I'm going to use the Colourpop Gimme More highlighter palette. So I love this like peachy golden highlight shade for blush. So I'm just popping that onto the cheeks and back up towards the ear. And then I'm going to mix these two shades from the same palette. So one's more golden and one is a little bit pinky. And I use a fan brush to apply these because they're really, really creamy. So you have to really buff them into the skin to get a nice glow off them, but they're gorgeous. So I'm popping that on the high points of my cheeks, my centre of my nose and Cupid's bow. For the eyes, the inner corner and the brow bone, I'm using this golden toned highlight from the same palette. The lashes I'm using are the Sosu style in the design Sparkle. And these are from the Christmas Advent calendar. I'm putting a little bit of Charlotte Beauty After Dark mascara on the bottom lashes, and then for the lips I'm going to use the Essence lip liner in Soft Berry, so just outlining my lips and filling them in with that. And then I use the Sosu gloss Bitch Gloss in Lust just on top. And that is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed it. I really love like the sunset effect, and I love like the kind of lilac / gold look that's going on the lid. It's really, really nice. So that's it for the tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you did. And I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.